Hello my dear students, welcome to mathematics classes for 9th standard. Today we're going to learn about chapter number 7, that is triangles, part number 1 by your Jerry sir. So let's start the chapter. So first the term comes triangles. As the name suggests, triangle is there. So we need to first learn about triangle. What is triangle? In our previous classes we have learned about triangles and its types. Maybe you remember and maybe some students forget also. So let's revise them first. So what is triangle? This is a shape of triangle. As you can see here, it is a closed figure. What is this? It is a closed figure, as you can see here, and this is a closed figure which is having what, three vertex, one, second and third. Three vertex are there. And if we talk about the sides, how many sides are there? One, two, three sides are there. How many sides are there? Three sides, as you can see clearly from this figure. So first, this orange lines, you can see three sides are there, which is shown by green line. Okay, green pen. So these are what you can say, three sides, and it have three angles also, this angle and this angle. So a triangle is a what, closed figure which is made up of three line segments, okay, and which have three sides and three angles. Okay, this is the basic you can say definition or the meaning of triangle. Now let's talk about types of triangle. So we can learn about types of triangle on the basis of sides and on the basis of angles. As we can see here, on the basis of side, this one is written here, you can see on the basis of side. So first let's focus on this one only. First type which comes on the basis of side is what? Equilateral triangle. What is equilateral triangle? Equilateral triangle is that triangle in which all the three sides are equal. As you can see here, they have shown this one equivalence by this symbols. So all three sides are equal. That is called equilateral triangle. Second is coming what? Second is coming isosceles triangle. This is called isosceles triangle, where only two sides are equal. As you can see here, this side and this side is equal. Okay, third side is not equal to that other two sides. So whether two sides are equal, that is called isosceles triangle. Then comes what? Then comes scalene triangle. Scalene triangle is a triangle where no sides are equal. This. These are not equal to each other. It means one can be what? You can say one can be 2, other can be 3, and the third can be 4 centimeters. So here all three sides are different. That is called what? Scalene triangle. So this is what on the basis of side. Now if we talk about on the basis of angle, which type of triangles are there? So first type of triangle which comes on the basis of angle is what? Acute angled triangle. Here it is written acute triangle, but it's better to say acute angled triangle. So acute angle triangle is that triangle where all three angles are less than 90-degree angle. It means in this triangle, given triangle, this one triangle, maybe this angle will be also less than 90, this angle will be also less than 90, and this angle will be also less than 90. It can be 40 plus 60, how much? 40 plus 60, 100, plus how much left? 80. So it comes to 80. All are less than 90-degree angle. So it can be called a what? Acute angle triangle. Now talk about second types of triangle, that is what? Right angle triangle. As you know that right angle triangle is those triangle where one angle is how much? 90 degree. So this angle will be how much? This angle should be 90 degree. As you can see here, they have shown this side also 90-degree angle. Okay, this one 90-degree angle. Now comes what? Obtuse angle triangle. What is obtuse angle triangle? Obtuse angle triangle is that triangle where one angle is more than 90 degree. As you can see here, this angle is more than 90. Suppose that this angle is 120. How much? 120. Okay, so we know that the sum of all the angles is of a triangle is how much? 180. So 120. So we can assume this one is how much? 20, and this one is how much left? 120 plus 20, 140, and this one left 40 only. This is 40 degree. So in this way we can say this is obtuse angle triangle, because here one angle is how much? More than 90 degree. So that's why it is a obtuse angle triangle. So in this way we have revised the types of triangles which we have already learned in our previous classes, just we have revised here. Now as this chapter is based on the congruence of triangles, so first we need to understand what is congruence. So the congruence means what? The angles, or you can say that congruency means that two geometric figures are said to be congruent if they are exactly of same shape and same size, then they are called be congruent. Let's understand with the example, or you can say that some figures. So first, criteria for congruence of triangles. Let's learn about them. What are the criteria for the congruency of triangles? So you can see here, first criteria, where angle A equals to angle X. As you can see this figure. So in the given figure you can see there, here actually this angle A is equal to angle X shown by red one, then angle B is equal to angle Y, and the last angle C is equals to angle Z. Okay, as you can see it is written here also. Okay, this one angle equal to angle X, angle B equal to angle Y, angle C equal to angle Z. It means uh, the three angles of one triangle is exactly equal to the three angle of other triangle, the corresponding angles. It means upper one equal to upper one, left side angle is equal to left side angle, right side angle is equal to right side angle, as you can see here. Okay, then they're talking about sides also. Here the sides are also equal. AB, this side AB is equal to the corresponding side XY. Why I'm saying corresponding? See, this is also left, this is also left. That's why I'm saying corresponding. Remember this word corresponding. Okay. Then BC, this one BC downside base side is equal to base side YZ. Okay. And the last one CA, this one CA is equal to ZX. Okay. So here all angles are also equal and all sides are also equal. So we can say that here triangle ABC is just, you can see that congruent to triangle XYZ. As you can see here, if we try to superimpose these triangles over each other, if I'm doing what, suppose that I'm taking this triangle, I lifted up and putting above this triangle. So what will happen? They will superimpose each other. Superimposed means there is no space left. It will come like this, as you can see in this figure. See this figure, just check here. It is AB, it was XYZ. I have put ABC on just up above this triangle. So you can see no sides are left. See, no sides are left. Just check here. No sides are left. Just it is superimposed over each other. Okay, as you can see that coins of 1 rupees, if you put them together one above other, just they will superimpose each other. Even the two scales of same company, like Nataraj scale you are having, if you put over each other, so they will superimpose each other. Okay, no extra space will left. That is called superimposing. Okay, so here we can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle XYZ. What I said, triangle ABC is congruent. Now this is the sign of congruent. This is symbol of what? Congruent. Okay, what is there? Equal, and then like this. Okay, now let me explain this one. What is the meaning of this one? See here. Here this sign, which looks like this one, this sign means what? Same in shape. What it means? It means same in shape. Okay, and equal to means that same in size. Shape, see here, the figures which are given here, they are of triangle shape. Okay, these are called shape. Circle is a shape, quadrilateral is a shape. These are called shape. So they are the figures which are same in shape, and even they should be same in size also. Here we have seen that here all sides and all angles are equal to each other. That's why they are congruent. It means in order to be congruent, the two figures should have same shape and even the same size. Then only we can say that the given triangles are what? Here, as here ABC and XYZ are congruent. Okay, so equal, same in shape and same in size also. So as you can see, equal in size, same in shape. Okay, so the triangle ABC and XYZ are congruent. Now the two triangles are congruent if all the sides and all the angles of the one triangle are equal to the corresponding, again see the word came corresponding here only. Okay, corresponding sides and angles of the other triangle. I hope it is clear to you now. Now let's learn about some more terms, like here comes CPCT. Just pay attention here. This one, CPCT. What it means? This term you're going to use in your exercises when you will solve the question. Then definitely you will going to use this term. So what it means? It means corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Corresponding parts means here what? It means this angle A is corresponding part of angle X of triangle XYZ. In here in triangle ABC, angle A, and in triangle XYZ, angle X. So A and X are corresponding parts because they are equal to each other. In the same way, B is equal to Y. So B and Y are corresponding parts. C and Z are corresponding angles. In the same way, this side AB is corresponding to side XY. Okay, just again look at here. This side AB is corresponding to side XY. In the same way, side AC is corresponding to side XZ, and side BC is corresponding to side YZ. These are called corresponding parts. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Now we can say corresponding means corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Okay, it is clear to you. So here we can say triangle ABC. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle XYZ. It will be correct. But if you are saying triangle ABC is congruent to triangle YZX, then it will be wrong. See here, they have taken here also already. This is corrected. This is correct, but this is wrong. Why it is wrong? See, triangle ABC, ABC. So first we are taking AB left side, then we're taking base side. But when I'm saying YZX, so YZ I'm taking base side, and here I said AB, that is left side. So they are not corresponding. That's why it will be wrong. The correct sentence is what? Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle XYZ. It means AB, then XY here, correct. Then here BC, then here YZ, and there at last this one CA, and here ZX. So they are showing the corresponding sides. So it will be correct. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now, two triangles are congruent if even if the three specified parts of one triangles are equal to the corresponding parts of the other triangle. Let's learn this through our congruency rules. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3, 4 congruency rules are there. Okay, these are what? Side angle side, that is SAS congruence rule. Then second is coming what? Angle side angle, this one, angle side angle. Now this angle side angle congruence rule is removed by CBSE from your course. Listen carefully, once again I'm telling you, from for this year 2020-21, CBSE has removed this congruency rule from your book, from your syllabus. So whatever the questions are given on this book, NCERT or in other books, will not come in your exam this year. Okay, so we will talk about only three congruency rules, that are SAS. Here we will talk about SAS, triple S, and RHS. So SAS stands for side angle side, triple S stands for side, and RHS stands for right hand side congruency rule. So we can write right angle hypotenuse side congruency rule. So let's learn about these three one by one. So first we'll learn about side angle side, because our first exercise given in exercise NCERT is based on this one only. Okay, let's learn about SAS congruency rule. So two triangles are congruent according to SAS congruency rules. Two triangles are congruent, as two angles are given here, triangles ABC and triangle XYZ. They will be congruent if two sides and the included angle. Now what it means? Here two sides, like I am taking AB. Okay, just look at here. AB I am taking. AB is equal to XY, and BC equals to YZ. Now what they mean by the included angle? This angle will be called included angle. Why it is called included angle? Because this angle B, if you talk about angle B, so this angle B is coming between these two sides, AC and BC. That's why it is included angle. It is coming between two sides. Okay, this will not called included angle, because we're not talking about these two sides, we're talking about this and this side. So between these two sides this angle is coming, that's why this angle is called included angle. Same here, XY, YZ. So which angle is coming? Angle Y. Angle Y is included angle. So we can say two triangles are congruent if two sides and the included angle of one triangle are equal to the corresponding two sides and the included angle of other triangle. Then they will be then we can say that the two given triangles are congruent by SAS congruence rule. As you can see here, AB is equals to XY. This AB equals to XY, it is given here. Then BC equals to YZ, so BC equals to YZ, it is given here. And then angle B, this angle B equals to this angle Y. Okay, so we can say by SAS congruence rule, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle XYZ. I hope it is clear to you. Now on the basis of this SAS congruence rule, we will solve first exercise, that is 7.1 in your copy, or you can say notebook. Okay, so let's solve that exercise. So students, in exercise 7.1, first question is given. In quadrilateral ACBD, AC is equals to AD, and this AB bisect this angle BCAD, or you can say angle A, as you can see in this figure. Show that this triangle ABC is congruent to downward triangle, that is ABD. So, and what you can say about BC and BD? This BC and BD, what relation they are having? This thing we have to find out. So let's solve this question. I have drawn this figure in my copy already. Let's check now. So given, what is given? AC is equals to AD, we have written, and AB bisect this angle A into two equal parts, because it is written bisect here. Now to prove, what we have to prove? We have to prove this triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ABD. So in triangle ABC, in the same triangle we will take, which we have to prove congruent. So in triangle ABC and ABD, AC equals to AD already given. Then angle CAB is equals to angle DAB. Why? Because already they have given that this AB bisect this angle A. Okay, so these angles are equal, side, angle, and then AB equals to AB. Why? Because AB is coming in this triangle ABC also, and AB is coming in triangle ADB also. Both triangle AB is coming. That's why AB is common. So by side, angle, side, by SAS we can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ABD. So we have just proved what we have to say, what we have to prove now. And then they say what we can say about BC and BD. If triangle are congruent, so we can say that BC is equals to BD by CPCT. It means corresponding parts of congruent triangles. So we have done our question number 1. Now move to question number 2. So in question number 2, they has given this figure, as you can see here. AD equals to BC, AD is equals to BC, and angle DAB, this one angle, this DAB is equals to angle CBA. It means this angle. These two angles are equal. Okay, these two angles. Now what they are asking? They are saying we have to prove these three parts. First part, triangle ABD is congruent to triangle ABD. This triangle is congruent to triangle BAC. This triangle. Okay, we have to prove this one. Then BD is equals to AC. This thing we have to prove. And third part, angle ABD. It means this angle only. This angle is, we have to prove, equals to angle BAC. It means this angle. Those two angles we have to prove equal. Okay, let's solve the solution. So first we have written in triangle ABD and triangle BAC, because these two triangles we have to prove congruent. So we have taken these two triangles only. Here in these two triangles, AD equals to BC, because it is already given in the question. AD equals to BC, so we have written AD, which is the part of triangle, this one, AD, and BC, which is a part of triangle BAC. So these are the parts of sides of different two triangles. So these two are equal to each other, as it is given in the question. Then angle DAB is equals to angle CBA, that is also given in the question already. Okay, and AB is equal to AB, or you can say BA. Both are same thing, and these both are same in these two triangles. AB also here also AB. So these are common. So we can say by these three that this triangle ABD is congruent to triangle BAC. ABD is congruent to triangle BAC by side, angle, side. SAS congruence rule. Okay. Now we have to prove that BD equals to AC. When the triangles are congruent, so their parts will be also equal, the corresponding parts. So we can say by CPCT BD equals to AC, and angle ABD, this angle is equals to angle BAC as corresponding parts of congruent triangles. So now if we move to other questions of the exercise, so question number 3, 4 and 5 are based on AAS, or you can say ASA congruency rule, which is not in our syllabus this year. So we have cut question number 3, 4 and 5 from our book, because these are not coming in exam this year, because this congruency rule is removed by whom? By CBSE. So move to question number 6. So in question number 6 they have given this figure, as you can see here, in which AC is equals to AE and AB is equals to AD. They have shown the single line and double line. Okay, now and they have given angle BAD, this angle is equals to angle EAC, this angle. Okay, this part is left middle. Now we have to show that BC, where is BC? This one BC. This BC is equals to DE. We have to show this one. Okay, let's solve this question. So as you can see, it is already given that AC equals to AE and AB equals to AD and angle BAD equals to EAC. Now what we have to prove? We have to prove that BC equals to DE. So we have taken proof. Now we are starting proof. So BAD equals to EAC, already given in the question. Now if you check BAD, this part is equals to EAC. EAC, it means this part. Now if you check properly, so you will found that this part in the middle, this is the part which was left in the middle, which I have colored with the red. Okay, so this is what we can call this part DAC, this red part. What we are doing now, we are going to add this red part in both the angles. So BAD plus angle DAC, here also EAC plus angle DAC. So when we are adding DAC in angle BAD, we are adding DAC, so it becomes BAC only. See, it becomes like this. These two become this. And when we are adding DAC and EAC, where is EAC? EAC. We are adding DAC in that, so it becomes EAD. It becomes EAD, or you can say DAE. Same thing only. Okay. So we can say that angle BAC equals to angle DAE. This is equation first. Now we are proving, which we have to prove BC equals to DE. So in triangle BAC and in triangle DAE, BAC and DAE, AB equals to AD. It is already given in the question. AB equals to AD. Okay. Then angle BAC equals to angle DAE. Just we have proved in equation first. So from equation first we have written, and at last it was given to us that AC equals to AE. So we are writing AC equals to AE. Now by side, angle, side, we can say that triangle BAC is congruent to triangle DAE. Okay, by SAS congruence rule. Now remember, we have to prove that this BC equals to DE. Now if triangles are congruent, so their part BC will be equals to DE by CPCT. Okay, so in this way we have done our question number 6. Now if you move to question number 7, so you will found that question number 7 is also based on that congruence rules which is not in our syllabus this year. That is ASA, or you can say AAS, same thing. That is a part of the same thing. So we are not going to solve this question. Now let's move to question number 8. In right triangle ABC, okay, in right triangle ABC, right angle at C. What is right angle at C? Here it is right angle, 90 degree. M is the midpoint. M is the midpoint of hypotenuse AB. It means this part BM equals to AM. Okay. Then they are saying C is joined to D. C is joined to D, clear, and produced to point till D such that DM is equals to CM. Okay, this part also equal. Then point D is joined to point B. D is joined to point B, and show that triangle AMC equals to triangle BMD. Triangle DBC is a right angle. Triangle DBC equals congruent to triangle ACB, and CM equals to half of AB. These things we have to prove. So let's solve the question. So let's solve the first part of question number 8. So we have taken triangle AMC and triangle BMD, because these two triangles we have to prove congruent. So we have taken these two triangles. Now in these two triangles, AM is equals to BM, as M is the midpoint of AB. So this is side. Then angle AMC, this angle, okay, is equals to angle BMD, to this angle. Okay, which these angles are equal. Why? Because these are making what? Vertically opposite angles. That's why they are equal. And CM equals to DM. CM equals to DM. It was already given in the question. So by side, angle, side, it means by SAS, we can say that these two triangles are congruent. And if these two triangles are congruent, so we can say AC is equals to BD, because these are part of these two triangles only, corresponding parts. So by CPCT, these two sides are also equal. And we can say ACM, angle ACM, this angle, only this angle, is equals to angle BDM, this angle. These are also what? Corresponding angles. Why we are taking these angles? Because these angles we will take help in second part. Now second part we have to prove that angle DBC, this angle we have to prove that it is how much, 90 degree. So we have taken second part, angle ACM equals to BDM, just we have proved they are equal. But if we check properly, so we will found that these are making what, alternate angles also, this and this angle making what, alternate interior angles. So we can say that DB is parallel to AC. These are parallel sides. They are parallel, so we can say that angle DBC, this angle, plus angle ACB, this angle, this full angle will be how much sum, 180, because we will make co-interior angle, because here BC is working as a transversal. So these are making 180 degree angle. Now ACB is already given how much, 90. So in place of ACB we can write 90. Now when we move this 90 to right hand side, so 180 minus 90, it becomes 90 degree. So we can say that angle DBC is how much, 90 degree, and this thing only we have to prove. So we can say that yes, angle DBC is the right angle. So we have proved our second part also. Now move to third part. In third part we have to prove that triangle DBC, this triangle DBC is congruent to triangle ACB, this left side to right side, they are got congruent, we have to prove. So we have taken in triangle DBC and ACB, DB equals to AC, just we have proved in first part. Here part 1 we have proved, okay, this one. So we have taken from first part that they are already proved, DB equal to AC, DBC equals to ACB, each a 90 degree angle, okay, and BC is equal to CB, BC you can say, or you can say CB, both things same only, so they are common. So we can say by SAS congruency rule, this triangle DBC is congruent to triangle ACB. So in this way we have proved our third part also. Now in fourth part we have to prove that CM is equals to half of AB. As you can see here, fourth part, CM equals to half of AB. This thing we have to prove. Okay, so we can prove this one. In triangle DBC and ACB we have just seen that they are congruent. Okay, just we have proved. So we can say that if they are congruent, so their corresponding parts are also equal. So AB equals to DC by CPCT. Now if AB equals to DC, so we can say in place of DC what we can write, twice of CM. Just check what is DC here. DC, this is DC, okay, and in DC MB is equals to CM, DM equals to CM. Why? It is already given in the question, okay, that DM equals to CM. Okay, now if they both are equal, so we can say in place of DC we can say twice of CM, we can say or not, double of, because see here DC is there, what we can write here, CM plus DM. In place of DM also we can write CM because they both are equal, so we can write twice of CM. Twice of CM equals to DC only. Okay, now this 2 we will move to this left hand side. Now here 2 and CM are in which relation? They are in multiplication relation. So when we will go left hand side, this 2 will go left hand side. So what will happen? Opposite side will come. So AB divided by 2. Or we can write this as CM equals to half of AB, because when AB multiply by 1, so it becomes AB only, AB upon 2 only. So we can write CM equals to half of AB, and this thing only we have to prove. So we have proved all parts of question number 8. So here we have completed our exercise 7.1. I hope it is clear to you.
At last, I just want to say be safe and God bless you all.